The S&P 500 just had its worst day in months. Tech stocks are getting destroyed, and if you check your portfolio right now, you're probably not feeling great about it. But here's the thing, this isn't random. There's actually a pretty clear story behind why everything's falling apart right now. And if you understand what's happening, you might actually see this differently than everyone else panicking on X. So let me walk you through it. All right, so what actually triggered this sell-off? Two words: trade war. President Trump just threatened to slap a massive 100% tariff on Chinese imports by November 1st. That's not a typo. 100%. Basically doubling the price of anything coming from China. And the market freaked out. The S&P dropped 2.7% in a single day. The Nasdaq, which is loaded with tech stocks, fell 3.6%. That's a massive move. Now here's why this hit so hard. Stocks had been on a tear this year, up over 30% from the April lows. Everyone was excited about AI, the Fed maybe cutting rates, all that good stuff, but that rally pushed valuations really high, like stretched. So when Trump drops this tariff bomb, it gave traders the perfect excuse to take profits and run they did. But it's not just about tariffs. There's a bunch of other stuff piling on too. You've got the Middle East. A 2-year war between Israel and Hamas just hit a ceasefire. Sounds good, right? Well, yeah, oil prices dropped because supply fears eased, but all that uncertainty was hanging over the market for months. Then you've got the Russia-Ukraine war still going on. Plus, the US government is literally shut down right now. No economic data coming out. The Fed is basically flying blind. It's like trying to drive in a storm with your windshield covered. You have no idea what's coming. So all these things together, it creates this perfect storm of uncertainty. And when investors get scared, they sell first and ask questions later. Let's talk about what this trade war actually means for companies. Amazon dropped 5% when the tariff news hit. Makes sense, they sell a ton of products made in China. Levi Strauss warned that tariffs would crush their profit margins. Their stock fell 12%. Nvidia, the AI darling everyone loves, dropped nearly 5% in one session. And it's not just because of tariffs. It's because when uncertainty spikes, people dump the stocks that ran up the most, and tech has been on fire. Here's a simple way to think about it. Imagine you bought a stock at 10 bucks. It ran to 30, and now there's a chance things could get messy. You're probably thinking, you know what? I'll just take my profit and sit this out. That's what's happening across the board. Consumer stocks, industrials, financials, they're all getting hit. Basically, anything that depends on economic growth or global trade is under pressure. But here's where it gets interesting. Not everything is falling. Defensive stocks, think Procter & Gamble, Coca-Cola, healthcare companies, utilities, they're actually holding up pretty well. Some are even flat or slightly positive on the worst days. Why? Because people always need toothpaste, electricity, and medicine. Doesn't matter if there's a trade war or not. So when investors get scared, they rotate into these boring, stable companies. It's like everyone running out of the nightclub and into the library. Not as fun, but way safer. Now let's talk about the VIX. You've probably heard it called the fear gauge. And right now, it's screaming. The VIX jumped 25% in a single day. That's the biggest spike in over 6 months. It went from the mid-teens to around 20. And when the VIX is above 20, that means investors are nervous. Now, we're not at panic levels like 2008 or the COVID crash when the VIX hit 80, but this is a big move. It's telling you that fear is back. Here's the thing though, extreme fear can actually be a good thing. Historically, when the VIX spikes really high, it's often near a market bottom. Like earlier this year in April, the VIX shot above 60 during a tariff panic. And guess what happened after? The market rallied 30%. So the VIX at 20 isn't extreme yet, but it's elevated. And it's a reminder that volatility is back. The calm, easy ride is over for now. All right, so what do you actually do in a market like this? First, don't panic sell. I know it's tempting. You see red all over your screen, you think I should just get out before it gets worse, but panic selling usually locks in losses right before things turn around. Instead, think about hedging. It's how you protect yourself without hitting the panic button. One of the simplest ways to hedge your stock portfolio is by buying put options. Here's how it works. A put option gives you the right to sell a stock at a set price, kind of like having insurance on your portfolio. This is just an example. Don't run out and buy these exact puts. But let's say you own shares of Apple at $180. You could buy a $170 put option. If Apple drops below $170, that put increases in value, helping offset the loss in your shares. It's like having an airbag. You still take a hit in a crash, but it softens the impact. Then you sell the put option and use the cash to buy more on the dips or add to your other positions to bring the average cost basis down on your shares. Here's the thing. You don't have to hedge your whole portfolio either. Some traders just hedge a percentage like 10 to 20%, so they're protected enough to stay calm during big drops. Personally, I like to do 5%. The goal isn't to make money from the put. It's to buy yourself peace of mind when the market gets ugly. If you're not comfortable trading options, there are other ways to hedge too. You can shift part of your portfolio into assets that tend to hold up when stocks fall. Things like bonds, gold, or even certain defensive sectors like utilities and consumer staples. Gold, by the way, just hit a record high, over $4,000 an ounce. That tells you a lot of people are scared right now and moving towards safety. They're not chasing returns. They're protecting what they already have. That's the key mindset during volatility. Protect first, profit second. When you know your downside is covered, you can ride out the storm without making emotional decisions. Second, make sure you're diversified. If your whole portfolio is tech stocks, you're feeling this way harder than someone who's spread across different sectors. Add some defensive stocks. Add some international exposure. Just don't have all your eggs in one basket. Third, and this is the fun part, look for opportunities. I'm not saying go all in right now, but when quality companies drop just because everyone's panicking, that can be a chance to buy at a discount. Some analysts are saying financials look cheap right now. Banks got hit in this sell-off, but a lot of them still have solid earnings. Same with certain industrials. You just have to be selective. Focus on companies with strong balance sheets and real demand for their products. And don't try to time the bottom perfectly. Instead, scale in gradually, buy a little now, buy a little more if it drops further. That way you're not betting everything on one moment. This is called dollar cost averaging, or DCA. It's basically a fancy way of saying don't try to time the market. Instead, you buy a set amount of an investment on a regular schedule, weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly, no matter what the price is. Some months you'll buy when prices are high, other months you'll buy when prices are low. Over time, it averages out. You get more shares when the market dips and fewer when it's expensive. That helps smooth out your cost and takes emotion out of the equation. There's a saying, time in the markets beats timing the markets. And that's exactly what DCA is all about. You're not trying to guess the perfect moment to buy. You're just staying consistent and letting the long-term trend work in your favor. It's not flashy. You won't catch the exact bottom, but it's one of the most reliable ways to build wealth steadily, especially when everyone else is panicking. Because while others are selling in fear, you're quietly buying opportunity. Now, here's what's coming up that you need to watch. This week, big banks are reporting earnings. JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, Citigroup, Wells Fargo. Their results will tell us a lot about the economy. Are businesses borrowing? Are consumers spending? That's the kind of info we need. And then November 1st is the big date. That's when those 100% tariffs are supposed to kick in, unless the US and China work something out before then. If they do, you'll probably see a huge relief rally. If they don't, things could get worse. And later in October, the mega-cap tech companies report earnings. Apple, Amazon, Microsoft, Google. Those stocks have a huge influence on the indexes. If they report strong earnings, it could calm things down. If they disappoint, buckle up. So yeah, we're in a volatile moment, but volatility creates opportunity. The key is not to let fear make your decisions for you. Look, I get it. Watching your portfolio drop is stressful, but markets always go through cycles like this. Fear and greed, up and down. The investors who do well are the ones who stay calm, stick to their strategy, and look for the opportunities everyone else is missing. Right now, trade wars and global tensions are freaking people out, but those things will get resolved eventually, or the market will adjust to them. It always does. So keep an eye on those key dates. Watch the VIX, pay attention to earnings, and if you see a quality company you believe in getting hammered just because of fear, maybe that's your chance. Just remember, every big sell-off in history has eventually been followed by a recovery. The question is whether you're positioned to take advantage of it. And hey, I hope this video helps you on your quest for profits. I'll catch you on the next one.